full aircraft flying around the world. So a good step forward, definitely, Ian.
I mean, EasyJet were quick out of the blocks yesterday to say that they were putting on extra capacity. I think Ryanair said earlier this month that they were doing likewise. Would you expect other carriers to follow suit?
Absolutely. I think two things to remember, Ian. One is, there's a lot of capacity already in the system. Load factors in aircraft are not where a lot of airlines want them to be right now. But equally, airlines have got fleets sitting on the ground. A lot of expensive aircraft have been sitting on the ground for over 12 months, and airlines are desperate to get those in the air and fly them. And they've often, in many cases, recruited crew and have crew waiting to start flying again. So I think, as an industry, I think can respond quickly, and so you're likely to see, and travellers will likely see over the next days and weeks ahead, more flights being added, extra capacity being added. Just as an example, Germany has seen a recovery and seen the opening up of travel for the last few weeks, if not month or so. And Lufthansa have been flying 747s, so jumbos are scheduled to fly up and down to Tenerife and the Spanish resorts this summer, and that's that's just matching the demand that they are seeing and we're all seeing in the market with pent-up demand for travel.
Hugh, I'm very interested at what you just said there. You think the industry is capable of responding quickly. So, the front page of the Wall Street Journal yesterday had a story saying that US airports and carriers had really been taken aback by the rebound in activity. Is there a danger of that happening in Europe?
It's interesting, that one. Absolutely. July the 4th, actually, so we saw some of the busiest weekend for the last 15 months in the US, and domestic travel is very, very strong in the US. So I certainly mirror that sentiment, and that's what we're seeing in our numbers coming out of our traffic in the US. Airlines can recover and react very fast. I think they have fleets that are available as soon as they can get scheduled and they can get those airlines crewed. There is obviously a time in putting a flight on to allow people to book, and so there will be a lag there. The other thing is airlines have been innovating in the background as well on things like digital health passports. So a lot of the other infrastructure which will help travellers keep safe, and equally within Skyscanner, we've been starting to reflect a lot of that information and innovate to help travellers make informed decisions and help guide them through that travel decision at the moment.
Yes, it's a very good point that you make, because it's very clear that a lot of people in government are very nervous about the idea of these huge queues forming at border control as vaccination status and so on is checked out.
Yeah, absolutely. So IATA, which is the governing body for airlines globally, have been doing some really good work on a digital health pass that allows travellers to have digitally secure data showing their vaccination. And there's others who are also developing solutions in that space. And we've also seen at Heathrow this week, a trial, I think it's with BA and Virgin, looking at sending in advance that health information. So the border authorities know in advance that you've been vaccinated, and that will start to speed up. So that's lots of information that has been transmitted between countries in the past for passport type data. So there's protocols and data transfer systems in place that allows that to happen. But again, there's huge innovation and a pace of development which the industry is taking to try and ease that travel journey. But I think it's fair to say there will be changes this summer, particularly on departure. But again, technology can help solve a lot of that.
All right, Hugh Aitken, good to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, the UK boasts some of the world's leading research universities, and the COVID crisis has demonstrated the brilliance of scientists at work here, including those at Oxford that developed the vaccine. But how to turn cutting-edge research into successful business, something the US has always managed, but the UK has been less good at it. Well, now the universities of Leeds, Manchester and Leeds, Manchester and Sheffield have come together to establish a new investment company to commercialise the science and technology that they produce. Well, the business is called Gritstone, Northern Gritstone, and its non-executive chairman is Lord Jim O'Neill, who joins me now. Jim, very good morning to you. Lots of universities have these sort of companies. Imperial, for example. Why is it that these three establishments have seen the need to come together?
I think it's the combination of the intensified focus on the North in recent years, the Northern Powerhouse in particular. It's a close cousin of ideas that have been circulating in my mind, really going all the way back to the days when I chaired the Cities Growth Commission in 2013-14, which kind of led to the Northern Powerhouse. That, as you touched on in your intro, that we have sort of this dilemma nationally, really, that goes back for the whole of my life, that we have these fantastic universities and we don't seem to be able to take the greatest ideas that have become small startups and translate them into really significant businesses employing a lot of people, especially in the areas where they come from, to create really valuable businesses like they do elsewhere, and in particular the US. You cited Imperial, obviously, some other universities have managed to make a bit of an inroad into this in recent years, but Northern University's not. And hats off to Sheffield, Leeds, and Manchester for coming together. It's not the easiest thing for universities in principle to do, but they realise that the economies of scale and trying to attract a lot of private capital, I emphasise, into this space for funding these kind of things in the north of England is fantastic. It's something I'm very excited to be asked to be chair of, and I'm really looking forward to helping this thing become a big success.
So, Jim, is this business going to be seeded with any existing intellectual property rights?
I'm bowing to my non-exec role here. I'm not taking decisions on these kind of things. I just have to preside over it and make sure everybody behaves themselves. And I think that'll be. I mean, importantly, the business is not starting yet. We just announced it because we want to create a bit of momentum with it. I would imagine that will be something that we look at. There's certainly quite a few ideas and entities already established, of course, in each of these universities. I should also add, given how you introduced it and touched on another university, whilst it is primarily based around these three, in the rules that we've established, up to 10% can be invested in startups coming out of other northern universities too, and that could possibly change through time. So it's very exciting. As I say, it's front and center to the whole dilemma of trying to get productivity rising better in many parts of the north, as well as creating substantial value-adding jobs for people in that part of the world.
Yeah, completely agree. So, I mean, the gist of what you're saying there, Jim, is that other institutions are welcome to join.
Very, very much so. There is something in the north of England that ties the historic, most recognised universities known as the N8. And in principle, one would want them all to be involved, but you've got to, as I know, and you have a lot of experience about trying to pull off success in any kind of private investing vehicle with startups is extremely hard. So you've got to have the right principle, the right commitment, and the thing about Leeds, Sheffield, and Manchester is they've all got their own experiences at doing this for some years, and now realise that to do it together would be better for all three of them. And it's as I say, it's fantastic. And given my own journey through the whole Northern Powerhouse story for the past 6 years, it's very exciting.
Jim, I mean, Manchester in particular, I mean, if you just take Manchester, I mean, it was effectively the birthplace of modern computing. Why hasn't it been able to commercialise its IP in the way that other institutions like Oxbridge have been able to?
I mean, it's the trillion-pound question of the country, really. I mean, this is why it's so exciting. I think there's a number of separate forces that sort of relate. I mean, I think the fact of the matter is, and it's a topic that's come up repeatedly in the past couple of years, especially under this government, this sort of apparent dearth of private sector capital going to many opportunities in the north, not just universities. It seems to be a consequence of this huge concentration in London. But I wouldn't want to overplay that as just being the individual reason. I think there's also a secondary issue that the sort of technical know-how of how to take a great idea and not lose sight of where it's coming from and who the real creators and initiators are. But as is many people would appreciate more broadly in the whole space of developing a new company into a really successful business, it's not often the case that the universities are going to have the same capability to take those ideas and turn them into substantial growing businesses. It's a unique skill. And then I think that the third thing to throw in, which other universities haven't had a huge amount of success in either, and more broadly, it's an issue that you focus on in your program many a time. There seems to be this remarkable ongoing thing that's dominated much of the life I've lived through business, where a lot of startup businesses, whether from universities or elsewhere, as soon as they kind of become vaguely interesting, they get snapped up by some foreign entity and off they go to somewhere else in the world.
Yeah,
and a very important part of this is we want to make sure it's important for the places where the ideas are coming from.
All right, Jim, very, very briefly, I know you're a big footy fan, great mates with Sir Alex Ferguson. Give me a quick scoreline prediction for Sunday.
I listened to Mark Bellingham earlier talk about it, and I like the subtlety of he answered that any victory for England will be good enough. I suspect, actually I was going to say I suspect it'll be tight, but I don't know whether, it's very hard to predict, because this is the most un-Italian of Italian football teams I've ever seen. They seem to be quite open by Italian standards. And so let's hope for a goal early on, which would add to the likelihood that both teams have got to be on the front foot. So I can't wait for it. It's so exciting.
It is indeed. Jim, great to talk to you as ever. Thanks very much for joining me.
All right, mate. Good luck.
Now, the British drug maker Vectura has agreed to a £1 billion takeover by Philip Morris International, the company that owns the rights to Marlboro cigarettes around the world outside the United States. Well, Vectura, which specialises in inhaled medicines, had agreed in May to a £958 million takeover by the US private equity giant Carlyle Group. Well, Philip Morris, which is trying to move from selling traditional cigarettes towards healthcare products and its heated tobacco product IQOS, said Vectura would operate as an independent unit and be at the centre of its inhaled therapeutics business. Royal Dutch Shell has sold its stake in a major oil refinery in Germany in the latest move towards transitioning towards net zero. The 37.5% stake in the Schwedt refinery in eastern Germany has been bought by a Vienna-based investor. It's the third sale by a refinery interest by Shell in as many months. The company is expected to receive up to $250 million for the shareholding. And America's most valuable technology startup has begun preparations for a stock market listing. The digital payments processor Stripe has reportedly hired a law firm to advise it on its options. Well, Stripe, which was founded 11 years ago by the Irish-born brothers Patrick and John Collison, was valued at $95 billion at its most recent fundraising round in March. Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll be looking at how the markets are doing this Friday morning. Don't go away.
I'm Stuart Ramsey and I'm Sky's chief correspondent.
An enormous explosion has just come down. We saw snatch squads going in, grabbing people.
You either live and recover or you die.
Okay, so that's like a war.
Let's do it.
We help you understand the world with us. Over the past 24 hours, the soldiers have been attacked on a number of occasions.
Really sending a clear message that Venezuela is eager for change.
We take you to the heart of stories that shape our world. They were convinced the United States would become hooked. Well, they were right.
We hear shotguns being fired.
Got out of patrol, bit of fig withdrawn. It's so hot.
Welcome back. Let me tell you what's been going on in the markets today. And Wall Street sold off last night amid growing concerns at how labour shortages and supply chain bottlenecks may weigh on the economic recovery. Well, that was followed by falls overnight in most of the Asia-Pacific region. Hong Kong, which had sold off heavily on Thursday, finished higher, but otherwise there were declines in each of Tokyo, Shanghai, Mumbai and in Sydney. Well, Europe, however, has staged something of a rally since it opened a couple of hours ago or so. Here's the current picture. As you can see, all of the markets 1% or more to the good. Among the main talking points, shares of Airbus are ahead by 2.5% in Paris. That was after it reported a 52% increase in aircraft deliveries during the first 6 months of the year. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory, currently up 0.9% in a broad-based rally led by the mining heavyweights. Among the leading blue chip gainers are Land Securities and British Land, the property giants, both of them attracting a bit of interest as the economy starts to reopen. The leading FTSE faller is the discount retailer B&M. It's fallen by nearly 7% since its trading update first thing yesterday morning. Well, away from the FTSE, the brain health solutions developer Cambridge Cognition is up by more than 8% on news of a contract win from one of the big international pharma companies. Elsewhere on the foreign exchange markets, a bit of risk aversion today as traders have switched from currencies like the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar in favour of safe havens such as the yen and the Swiss franc. The pound is off against the dollar, very, very slightly higher against the euro. As for the oil price, well, that looks like it's going to finish lower for the week as a whole, but it's rallied overnight following a higher than expected drawdown in US crude stocks, and a barrel of Brent crude is currently trading at $74.78 a barrel. That is up 0.9%. Well, joining me now is Catherine Young. She's the investment director at Fidelity International. Catherine, good to see you again. This theme has been sort of creeping along all week that the economy is threatened by things like supply bottlenecks, wherever you are, whether that's in Asia or the United States. Is this just a sort of temporary breather for equity markets, do you feel?
Well, this whole sort of supply-demand situation isn't going away anytime soon. What we did see, though, in our part of the world is that Chinese factory inflation did in fact ease in June from the previous month where we saw a 13-year high. And this was really driven by the stronger US dollar as well as the Chinese government really trying to cool commodity prices. But definitely we are seeing that inflation, or it's becoming more expensive for input prices. And the key question is whether consumers will continue to pay for their goods and services after sort of the stimulus has ended around the world.
I mean, a lot of Asian economies, most notably Japan, but others too, they are big net importers of crude oil. To what extent is the higher crude price jeopardising recovery?
Again, it plays into this whole inflation argument about whether it's indeed transitory or more permanent. We're in the camp where it is more permanent given the supply-demand situation we're seeing, so bottlenecks on the supply side. If we cast our minds back to last year, China had a trade surplus because it was one of the only countries that was still able to manufacture as a result of COVID. Again, in our part of the world, what we have seen today is because of rising COVID cases, further restrictions or lockdowns in areas such as Sydney and in Seoul, and of course in Tokyo, we're now seeing the strictest restrictions. Spectators aren't allowed to attend the Olympics. So all of these kind of factors are still playing into the sentiment regarding the markets going forward.
Well, another thing that's played on sentiment this week for sure is the regulatory crackdown on tech companies in China. How worried are you about that?
So it's something that we do need to focus on. And in fact, from an ESG perspective, or when we assess companies from an environmental, social and governance perspective, this whole issue around cybersecurity and data protection is going to become more and more relevant. So since the fourth quarter last year, we have seen the Chinese regulators, so the Cybersecurity Commission, really focus on the big tech names or the tech companies. We're seeing probes into certain companies at the moment, companies which are about to list in the US or have just listed, in terms of how they're looking or accessing their data. You know, these companies are being very compliant, though, with the regulatory probe in itself. But the sort of situation where the regulators are kind of scrutinizing the Chinese listed companies over in the US, there's a lot of question marks, a lot of debate about whether we'll see, again, these companies instead look at Hong Kong or China to list or come to market.
Absolutely. I mean, Didi is obviously at the heart of this. The ride-hailing app stock sold off about 25% after it only IPO'd last week. I mean, does this threaten to drive another wedge between China and the US?
There is a lot of commentary or speculation this is the case, but from a pure investment perspective, when we look at the opportunities, especially in the unlisted space, so these are the companies that aren't listed yet on the stock exchange, there are ample of opportunities, not just in China, incidentally, but also we're seeing growing opportunities in places like Japan. So what it does mean is there's probably going to be more of a focus on the development of the capital markets in China. And I guess, why aren't these companies just listing in Hong Kong or China? From a valuations perspective, if you're someone like Didi, you probably think that it makes more sense to be listed on exchange alongside a name such as Uber, who's your direct competitor. So you can understand why these companies are going offshore. But again, it's likely that we will see these companies return, albeit, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, a bit like the LSE, has very stringent guidelines when it comes to IPOing. So you have to have a certain level of profitability. Because these are unicorns or tech companies, sometimes they don't meet these requirements, which is why, again, they go over to the US.
All right, Catherine, we have to leave it there. Lovely to see you again. Thank you very much for joining me.
A lovely weekend.
Now, a little earlier, we spoke about the return of more flights as the government eases quarantine restrictions. Well, flying is, of course, not the only way to get away on holiday. Cruises have become increasingly popular in recent years. That is, of course, until COVID came along. The industry was one of the first and hardest to be hit. Well, now Celebrity Cruises have just completed their first cruise with paying customers since the pandemic. The Celebrity Silhouette has just returned to Southampton. Well, we can now go live to the ship and speak to the UK Managing Director of Celebrity Cruises. That's Joe Yarmowska. Joe, welcome to you. How did it all go?
Oh, fabulous. Good morning. Here I am. The sun is shining for us in Southampton. It's been quite remarkable. We've had our first 6-night sailing with 1,000 guests on board, and we had a struggle getting them off this morning. They've had such a great time visiting our great British Isles and experiencing this wonderful ship.
And of course, all passengers had to be fully vaccinated. Did that include any children who were on board?
So our policy is all guests do have to be fully vaccinated with a minimum of 14 days since the last vaccination. And for those who are 17 and under, then we ask for them to have a test. We also, in addition, ask our guests to have a PCR test as well. So it's really important to us that we make sure that people have a very safe and healthy holiday, but importantly, that they can really enjoy their time aboard and relax knowing that everybody's been vaccinated and tested, including our crew.
The locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Centre of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. We don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. Have fun and stay blessed.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn.
Let your worship rise, 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 rise. Oh Lord, I give you everything. Oh, we give you the glory, Jesus. We give you the glory, Jesus. Oh my God. Who am I to deny? Who am I to deny? Who am I to deny? Oh, who am I to deny? Magic Papa. Who am I to deny? Who am I to deny? Who am I to deny?
This is Starr Radio UK.
How can I express my gratitude for all many things?
Well, of course, how can I express my gratitude for the many things that you've done for me?
Words are not enough.
Of course, words are not enough to say thank you for all that God has done for you. We are in the 9th day of the 7th month of the year 2021, a year that we saw is the aftermath of the year before, where COVID ravaged the world and continues to. However, God has been grateful or faithful to His word, and He's kept you, and you are alive, and I'm alive as well. Why wouldn't we give thanks and praise to His holy name? So on that note, I want to welcome you to this Friday edition of the morning show. And I'm saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we salute you and we welcome you to the Friday edition of the morning show. Good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. Lami Koike, Kojo D, and Mr. Dan Teberi, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, our money man. To Felix all the way in Aberdeen, to Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, to Malik Dramani Mahama Mr. to Mr. David Kruche, Dr. Martin, good morning to you. My brother Kwame, long time no here. I hope you are doing very well. Please get in touch. And a special good morning also goes to Governor Hibiri in Minnesota, Abiosei, Mr. Davidson, Makivas, and all you wonderful people there listening to us. Those of you in the US, we salute you. Those of you in Africa, especially my Nigerian listeners, I salute you all. Got lots of stuff that I'm going to bring your way. And a special good morning also goes to our listeners in Australia and in Asia. I hope I've covered the whole planet, right? All right then. So once again, welcome to the show. It is a Friday edition of the morning show. Of course, I am
Archie. This is the morning show with Archie.
Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Now, if it's the first time of listening to us on this platform, this is how the program goes on Fridays. I'll be bringing you the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll go on to our global trotting where we have a look, a quick look or snapping look at what is happening across the globe. Then at 11 o'clock, we'll be having Mr. Olaimi Koike, who will be joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. Well, when I come to that, I will tell you one of the headlines that I've seen. And then we'll go on with the discussions. At 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussion. But if you want to add your voice before then, you can put it on our Facebook page or you can text or WhatsApp it to us. Our text or WhatsApp number is 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. Then at 12:30, we'll cross over to Kent, where we have our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services and Money Man. A conversation that we have, and it always give you an idea of how to have money, or make money, or to save money. So make sure that this afternoon as well, you join us on that platform. Then exactly at 1 o'clock, we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that is what we're going to be doing. But don't you worry, I'm going to be your captain. Yes, if you have to get a cold drink, get yourself a cold drink, a hot drink, get yourself a hot drink, whichever is appropriate. Get yourself seated. If you're standing in a very comfortable position. As I say all the time, it could be bumpy, but I promise you, as your captain, I'm going to get you to your destination safe and sound. So once again, welcome on board, but share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Let me say good morning to all Starr Radio UK presenters.
Lift up your hands, come on, let's go!
Well, you are my everything. That is what it means there. We are Madina in that patois. Okay, so once again, welcome to the show. It's now 14 minutes to the top of the hour, so let's crack on. The future is not disconnected from the present. There is a strong correlation between the two. The future is not disconnected from the present. There's a strong correlation between the two. So whatever you are doing today, know for sure that is going to impact your future, right? So make the right choice, take the right decisions and move on with it. It could be maybe now it's not a good, you'll not be enjoying whatever step that you are taking, but if you are convicted in your heart that it's the right thing that you're doing, get on with it. It is Starr Radio UK. Now let's move on to the weather front. Let me tell you what is happening when it comes to the weather for today and over the weekend. Now for London and the southeast of England, this is how the weather is going to be for you today. This afternoon we'll have a mixture of sunny spells and scattered showers, some of which are likely to be heavy with chances of thunder. Tonight, we will see showers easing to allow for a few late sunny spells. It will become cloudy overnight, but it should remain dry.
Lift up your hands and say, Lord, you are.
The temperature is going to be 23 degrees, otherwise going to be 14 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high, very high. UV level is going to be moderate, and pollution is going to be low. Sunset 21, 17, and sunrise for tomorrow morning, 04:54 hours. It is Starr Radio UK. Now for the weekend weather, tomorrow we're going to be seeing what? Tomorrow morning, a spell of persistent rain will move in from the west. The rain will soon clear in the afternoon, leaving sunny spells and scattered showers. And then come Sunday, it's going to be dry, cloudy though. The temperature is going to be 20 degrees, the lower is going to be 14 degrees. The D-Day. All right then. It is Starr Radio UK. I'll come and tell you more about what the D-Day is. If you're not in the UK or you're not in Europe, you don't know what is happening across the globe. Yes, the D-Day. I will interpret it.
Lift up your hands, come on, let's go!
Okie dokie. Let's quickly take a commercial break and then I'll bring you the travel update. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out!
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yes. So keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise. I'm on the Starr Radio UK Travel App that comes your way every weekday from 10:40 coming today at 10:50. Yeah, so what is happening in your travels this morning? Now, if you're on the underground, I can tell you shortly that good service throughout, apart from the Waterloo and City lines that have got planned closures. London Overground, TFL Rail, DLR, and then London Tramley, good service there as well. Now, moving on to the river bus, I tell you also, apart from the Woolwich train that is partly suspended, all the others have got good service there. Now let's move on to the National Rail. Let me tell you what is happening on the National Rail front. On the National Rail as well, apart from the Thames Link that has got a special service, all the others good service. Now keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated, I promise, our board. Now on the major roads in London, the large segment of the travel update, A1 has got closures, A10 closures, A21 closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Routes closures, South Circular A205 closures, and A20 has got serious delays. Now I'll say it again, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what, continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
There. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
With Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 7 minutes to the top of the hour. And we are on our mission to go global trotting. So wherever you are, don't you tag the dial at all. Let's go global trotting. Okay, so what's happening this morning across the globe? Let's get on with it. As I say all the time, it could be bumpy, but hey, gear yourself up and let's do it together. Now, here in the UK, Met PC pleads guilty to Sarah Everett's murder. The 33-year-old marketing executive vanished after walking home in Clapham on the 3rd of March. Just some story coming through. And travelers have been warned of longer airport queues. They need to check more documents, could make border checks 3 to 4 times slower, a union has said. And then NHS COVID app may change as rules change. That is what Grant Sharp is saying. The Transport Secretary says the app's sensitivity may need to be reduced as restrictions change. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In other parts of the world as well, foreign hit squad killed Haiti president, the police has said. And that is so disgraceful. Haitians. Haha, so disgraceful. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah. Okay, a group of 26 Colombians and 2 Americans shot President Juvenal Moise in his home. Police have said. Why did they do that? What moved them? What pushed them? Okay, now skydivers killed in Swedish plane crash. 8 skydivers and a pilot died in a plane crash close to the runway at Örebro Airport in Europe. Örebro Airport in Europe. We'll be looking into that story into that story as well. And Teenager makes history at US Perlin B. Zayla Avant-Garde 14 became the first African American to win the high profile competition. Well done, congratulations to him. More grace to his elbow. And Taliban capture key border crossing with Iran. There are some of stories making the rounds there. And Stormy Daniel, ex-lawyer, sentenced for extortion. A federal judge said that celebrity lawyer had become drunk on the power of his platform. Oh my goodness. All right then. Starr Radio UK. Bear drags US cyclist from tent and kills her. Wow. Wildlife officials are searching for the bear and say they plan to kill it as it remains a threat. Those are the stories making the rounds. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on to some other parts of the world, on the African continent as well. UN backs AU effort to mediate Nile Dam row. UN Security Council members ask Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan to resume negotiations. And the Nigeria televangelist TB Joshua to be buried today. The thousands of mourners stand up for the burial of influential Nigerian preacher TB Joshua in Lagos. There are some of the stories making the rounds there. Now, Tunisia says COVID-19 situation is catastrophic. Bodies of victims are being left in beds because of lack of staff to move them. And that is a worrying one there. Okay, Zuma could be out of jail in months. Minister has said South Africa's ex-president turned himself in on Wednesday after being sentenced for contempt. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And more going to be coming your way from Nigeria as well. But if you are listening to us or you are watching us live, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. As I say all the time, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, Baptist school students' parents panic as bandits threaten starvation, demand 30 bags of rice. Politics as well. Presidency justifies raid on Igboho's resident, prosecution of secessionists. As I said, those are some of the issues we're going to be looking at. Sunday, Igboho allies arrested in illegal night raid sues Nigeria's secret police. Okay, so we'll see. Would they even hack into that or what? I'm not very sure what they're going to be doing. But I'm saying good morning to Zagina Latte as well, who's listening to us, and Abiola Olayenken, who is also posting all the comments there for us as well. But once we have Mr. Olaimi Koiki on, we'll be discussing those topics or stories that is making the rounds there in Nigeria. In Ghana, Parliament is to probe purchase of $19 Sputnik 5 vaccine, Sputnik V vaccines. The one that the state said they couldn't negotiate to buy directly from the Russian state, but rather had to use an intermediary, and it cost the price per a vaccine to rise to $19. Okay, the Kakas family withdraws from a jury committee hearing. What's their reason? It's well, you've not got the mandate, you've not got the power to bring people to justice or give us the justice that we want, and therefore we pull out. Well, what would you say about that? Now, APAC, the Fiamakbo seals over salaries for first and second ladies. Okay, we'll be looking into that. Yesterday we did talk briefly about that. Maybe the first lady and the second lady need remuneration. What about that? But well, who knows? There's a lot more we'll be talking about in a jiffy. Okay, and some other story. Trade Ministry have been asked to intervene in hike of freight duties. I know that when those of us here, we send things home, you ship things back home, and then the freight at times, whoa, you don't want to know, but what do you think? It is about time government stepped down and look at. After all, can you imagine how much we always send to that part of the world? It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. To all of you who are on the platform sharing and watching us, we salute you all. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'll be joined by Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, and Kojo D as well. Then at 12:30, we'll be crossing over to Kent, where we have our money man, Mr. Dan Tabri, who will be joining us. But it is Star Radio UK. Don't you go away. We take a quick break and some music, and we wait for Mr. Olaimi Koiki to join in on the program. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
In your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Pick me from the mighty clay. Lift up the voice and begin to thank God in this room.
smartphone.
version of Travis Green's song by Coda. And now, on that note, let me say welcome to the program once again. But it's now 6 minutes past the top of the hour. I think we have Mr. Olaimi Koiki. By Olaimi, we cannot see you. So can you please turn your cameras on? Well, it is Starr in the UK.
Only because you made say you move mountains. Yes, you did. Yes, you cause the walls to fall with your power. Resurrection power, Jesus.
But some way, somehow, God makes a way. So still keep on believing. I said, if you're convicted about your cause, your mission, your plans, then get on with it. Don't let anything deter you, as I've been saying of late. Don't let anything or anyone deter you from achieving whatever purpose that you set before you. On that note, let's say welcome once again to the program.
Can I get some horse?
Now we've got Mr. Olaimi Koiki, so we're going to be crossing over to Nigeria, where he is at the moment and all ready to smash it.
Don't know how, but you did it. Don't know how, but you did it. Said I don't know
Okay, Starr Radio UK.
how, but you did it. And I don't know how.
So let's cross over to the southwestern part of Nigeria, where we have Mr. Olaimi Koiki, who is all seated and ready for us. Yomi, good morning to you.
A very good morning to you back in the studio in London. Good morning to all our listeners from around the globe. Good morning to all our followers on different platforms. I say good morning and welcome to Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. The 9th day of July 2021, as we're going to be taking you through the global top trend. But for now, it's coming up to some of those news and the headlines coming out of Nigeria this morning. I'm reporting from the southwest of the country, and I say a very good morning to you back in London in the studio.
Yes, how are you doing, sir?
Well, it's thank God it's Friday, and that's kind of something that we say back for those of us, receiving our pay packet every Friday. And for those that are receiving it on a monthly basis, we still say thank God it's Friday. Friday tends to be, the day off, where people, look at so many things of what they've done over the week. But what do you ask is, how am I doing? I'm doing very well, staying strong as usual, in the midst of so many things happening, on the ground here in the southwest of the country. But as long as the life is available, and as long as you believe in your mission and your cause, and as long as you believe that, you can turn things around, you ignore all those rumors, the allegations, and you focus, because that is the only one word that I keep on saying to myself. You remain focused and you remain steadfast, and I'm sure you will conquer, just like the other part of the globe and different people have done in the past. It could be difficult right now, but I can only say we're staying very strong back here in the southwest of the country.
Okay, listeners, that is Mr. Olaimi Koiki for you, bringing you updates from Nigeria. But now, let's go to some of the stories that is making the rounds. And topmost in that story is the statement by the federal or the presidency pertaining to the invasion of Sunday Igboho's resident, where they are saying that they are happy with it. They don't see anything wrong with that. We're going to be looking into that story. But Yomi, what is that story about? Why are they saying that they are happy about whatever they've done? They don't care about how the temperature in the country at the moment. What is that about?
Well, once again, good morning. Yes, that is coming out from the spokesman of the president, Femi Adesina, that believes that, whatever must have happened at the residence of, Chief Sunday Igboho's house and the rearrest of the leader of the IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and those other elements as well. According to what he said, and this is from his own word, says, presidency justifies raid on Igboho's resident, persecution of the secessionists. We have security challenges, very severe ones, no doubt. And those challenges are being promptly confronted with the criminals being sent to God to account for their crimes. That is kind of a statement that probably may be part of what we've been saying, that the attack, which was about a week ago at the house of someone like Chief Sunday Igboho, was an assassination attempt. I mean, if the spokesman of the president is saying that criminals are being sent to God, I'm not sure someone like Chief Sunday Igboho is the criminal that a lot of us and the international community might want to look at. And while I was looking at that, I was also quickly able to look at the situation as an example where criminals are still operating with impunity, right here in Nigeria, without any kind of repercussion to that. And that takes me to the incident of the school children that were adopted or kidnapped rather on Monday. And this is the headline saying, the Baptist school student, the parents are now panicked as the bandit threatens starvation, demanding 30 bags of rice. The parent and the management of the Bethlehem Baptist High School, Maraban Rido in Kaduna State, have now had to raise money to buy foodstuff being demanded by the adopter as well. Not just that alone. Let's look at some of the latest incidents. As at yesterday, Yobe community were going into where the Boko Haram were not just moving with a normal vehicle. According to the story, they were moving with an armored vehicle as well. I'm looking at the situation from Kaduna before I come back again to you in the studio.
Yeah.
Yesterday, bandits daring storm the Ugunwa Gambia suburb area of Kaduna City, kidnapped 10 people. The youth rose in protest. This has become a daily occurrence. Where is the security and where are the security agents? So if Femi Adesina is saying that we are sending criminals to God, it makes it now that they were intentionally an assassination attempt at the house of Chief Sunday Igboho last week, Thursday, 1st of July.
I will not disagree with you there, because that is not a statement that I would say somebody is thought through and weighed the pros and the cons before making it. Because is it legal for you to do that? Was the person arming themselves with the person with a group of people who are attacking localities and kidnapping them and destroying properties and stuff like that? None. So if a spokesperson for the president comes to make such a statement, then I beg to say that he didn't think it through properly before making it. But I know that you might have a diverse view from what I'm saying. Feel free, post it, and we will make sure that we let the world know what you are saying there as well. But it is already okay. Mr. Lightning Koiki in the southwestern part of Nigeria, bringing you updates from Nigeria. Over to you, Yomi, with other stories.
Well, once again, it is the Friday edition of the Starr Radio UK Morning Show. Once again, if you're sending money on to your loved ones, remember to use, the send waves, and remember to quote, the Starr Radio UK code as well. I picked up the news, from one of the dailies, and this headline says, Nigeria democracy may collapse before 2023, according to the UK government warns. We've been following, the response of the international community in line with so many, atrocity of the genocide, the kidnapping, the hunger, the starvation, the instability in the country. And as of today, Nigeria is owing, huge amount of money as well. So the headline says, Nigerian democracy may collapse before 2023, the UK government warns as well. Pastors are now endangered species, according to the Christian Association of Nigeria. I've read that article yesterday. I will touch a little bit on that again today. But before we go into that, there was a tragedy as a trailer crushes 15 pupils to death in Delta State. That is another headline as well. Reps move to address fall in Naira inflation. If you're sending money home from United Kingdom this morning, it's about 705 Naira to a pound. That is making that, very strained for businesses. It's making more poverty, as well. And the reps is now taking a move to address the fall in Naira inflation. That is coming from the headline as well. FIRS, which is equivalent to, the HRMC that you might talk about in Nigeria, in UK, moves to recover 1.8 trillion naira from multi-choice. A lot of people might not know what multi-choice is all about, but multi-choice is similar to you having your Sky or your, that's for those of us in England and other part of the country, so that's equivalent to that. So multi-choice, FRRS, Federal Inland Revenue is now trying to recover 1.8 trillion naira. How were they able to allow the staggering amount of money? Multi-choice is owned, by one of the South African, franchise, if I believe, but that's quite a lot of money, and you would have expected, such money would have been useful as well. Let me now touch on the headline coming out from the Christian Association of Nigeria. It was quite a lot of statement released, yesterday. I've also been able to pick up, some of the other churches as well that are now speaking out, not just on the situation, in the country, but also, speaking against, the raid assassination attempt on Chief Sunday Igboho's home, on Thursday. According to what we have here, the Christian Association of Nigeria, also known as CAN, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to reverse the ugly trend where pastors in the country were fast becoming an endangered species under his government. The Christian body urged the president to, without delay, deploy military and police intervention to rescue Reverend Pokwala David Kayode of the Calvary Baptist Church, Kumi Masha in Kaduna State, who was adopted by unknown gunmen on Tuesday, 6th of July 2021. This came as a 7-day fasting and prayer section involving Christians and non-Christians all over the world has been declared to seek God's intervention to end all forms of attack, help government to be sensitive to ordeals and yearnings of the people, release everyone in the captivity of the bandit and terrorists. Also, they talked about, some other issues as well. The statement read to us, we believe that the freedom of the pastor is litmus test for the service. Chiefs, especially the new chief of army staff. It is not the first time that, Christians and non-Christians have been kidnapped, and you can just see that the trend of kidnapping has become, according to the Christian Association of Nigeria, as an endangered species as well. Let's go into some of those other headlines, and I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. Sunday Igboho's allies arrested in illegal night raid have now sued the Secret Service as well. Yesterday, the legal representatives, of those 12 individuals still in the hands of the DSS have now put in a legal, case to the Federal High Court in Abuja, to allow the DSS, to bring those 12 individuals, to the court so that, they can be able to have a better understanding of why they are being kept without any access to their families and legal representatives as well. Also, the president of the Oodua People's Congress Reform, Dare Adeshope, has said Yoruba leaders should stand up and speak against the manhunt for Yoruba Nation agitator and activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho, by the Department of State Security Services known as DSS. The DSS operatives invaded Igboho's residence in Soka in Ibadan on the 1st of July 2021, where 2 people were killed and the bodies are still, in the hands of the DSS or the federal government. While is government doing this? Question mark. Yoruba leaders should stand up and speak against this oppression and intimidation. Sunday Igboho should not be left alone, because arresting him or anybody in any part of Oodua land will change the ball game. His safety is paramount to Yorubas. Adeshope said this at a press briefing yesterday as well. Also, there is a new development for those 49 people that have been arrested in Lagos during the Lagos rally as well. Those individuals are also, from the statement released yesterday, are going through, the process of getting them out as well. Buhari has no moral authority to go after Sunday Igboho. He led a delegation of herdsmen to meet with Lam Adesina on the 13th of October 2000. To intimidate him, he encouraged his followers to defend their vote with the term rig and roast. This is taking us back just before, this government came in 2015. In 2000, this current president took himself to Ibadan, to discuss about why, the Fulanis that were killing and maiming in the part of the southwest in terms of their representatives. So a video has popped up to remind so many of us, some of those words and terms used as well. I'll take one more and come back again to you in the studio. Again, from the headline here, again, if you silent Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho, others will rise. This is coming from PFN, advised Buhari government. The Bishop Francis Wale Oke, the national president of the Pentecost Fellowship of Nigeria, has now appealed to the federal government of Nigeria under the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari not to silence the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and also the Yoruba activist Sunday Adeyemo, aka Igboho. This he was discussing in a statement at Mowe in Ogun State, the southwest of the country, yesterday. It seems according to Oke, urged the Buhari government to practice good governance, equity as means of resolving the agitations across Nigeria, adding that agitations will never stop and others will rise if Kanu and Igboho are silent. The bishop spoke while addressing the press conference on the state of the nation at the redemption camp of Redeemed Christian Church of God in Mowe in Ogun State yesterday. Oke says, we appeal to the government to make sure that that there is equity, participation, and representation in the governances by the people. Until that is done, agitation will never stop. If we silence Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, others will also rise. Once again, this is Star Radio UK, the morning show. I will now come back straight to you in the studio.
Yes, welcome back, listeners. It is Mr. Olaimi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. Yes, and it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Mr. Frank Davis is getting seated. Once he's seated, we'll go to him for his greetings as well and his remarks about what we have talked about so far. But Yomi, interestingly, my concern has been the statement that is coming from, call it, I don't want to put a particular strat there, but people, high esteemed people in the Yoruba nation, let me put it that way. Okay, now what has the government said so far about that? Because we see the government coming to justify and saying that yes, it's good that we invaded that house, the people who have been killed, I mean, they are saying that, well, we are sending them to God. But the problem is they are not looking at the problem itself to solve. They are rather going after the small issues that is not actually playing a role. But if care is not taken, that is going to turn into a mountain. So with this statement that is coming from these authorities in the Yoruba land, what has been government's reaction to that?
Well, the government, from what we said earlier, in terms of what Femi Adesina, said, in terms of the government is justified for what they've done, and then they're ready to send those criminals to meet their God. And the question you ask is how do you combine these in terms of the speak out from those leaders advising the government. I mean, we can now see that most of the churches are coming out to to say, look, we have become an endangered species. I mean, on Monday we saw the 150 innocent student kidnapped right from the school, Bethlehem school in Kaduna, and just a day after that we saw the pastor Popola that the Christian Association of Nigeria is discussing there. It's not the first time, but it seems everybody is now saying, and I mean the Christian Association of Nigeria also talked about the unity of Nigeria is really at stake. With so many of these situations happening. Yes, at the moment things might be calm, but the longer people feel that they are being targeted while the terrorists are moving around in the country, then there might be the change of situation as well.
Okay, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. A bit of clarification there, but we are still going on. Let me go to my colleague, Mr. Frank Davis, who is also in the house. Frank, good morning to you.
Archie, good morning, and good morning to our listeners, our viewers, whoever they are. Allow me special good morning to you. Good morning to Akusia of Crystal Palace.
Okay, I hope you are doing well.
I'm doing very well.
Good. Now, a quick one.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the story where Mr. Olaimi Koiki is talking about the reaction from leaders, of the Yoruba people. Now, the government also the federal government spokesman coming out to also justify the invasion and saying that they are going to send those people, those evil people, to their God. That means justifying the killing of these two individuals in Sunday Igboho's house and other killings that might be going on. What do you think their reaction is supposed to be?
Actually, take it this way: negotiation. Sometimes you put your strongest and your best foot forward.
Okay.
Trying to make a case, and you take it from there, and then you begin to lower your bar.
Okay.
That is how sometimes it's done.
Okay.
The government thinks that in my view, if they do not take that strong posture, they will be encouraging others from rising up.
Okay.
So what they're trying to do is to tell you that, look, anyone who voice out or anyone who try to mobilize people against this, what they will call the state, you are declared enemy of the state, and we will deal with you ruthlessly. They say, but that is the first strategy they will use.
Okay.
To see how people react. Past that, and I do believe behind the scenes, conversations are going on.
Okay.
You do not expect the government to come and say, okay, you know what, we are sorry. Go ahead. No, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
But behind the scene, I mean, what do you call it? Discussions are going on. Now, you see, what is encouraging is that people within the South are condemning what has happened.
Yeah.
Out of 1,000 of people who have a complaint to make, only one person will step forward to make it. So the few or Sunday that you see as leading might not even be the leader of what is going. There are thousands that might be more angry and given opportunity. Probably he is one of the most peaceful one. Others will be angry and do things that are unthinkable. Are you getting me? Others will just decide. I mean, some of these terrorists, when it happens, we understand they get angry with something. You look at the US school shooting. Some of them, they get the one that we saw in Canada. It was because the guy was angry about something. So at the end of the day, in my view, people like Sunday should be seen as a rallying point, and government should try and work with them. Because if they speak and people listen, then you want to work through them to achieve peace or whatever. But if you declare them enemy of the state, invariably you tell him his followers they are enemies as well, and they are following an enemy. Now, what again you are saying is that, well, I mean, I give anyone who wants to write or anyone who share the views of Sunday, they are declared criminals. And probably someone might hold even a stronger view than us. Okay, you know what? Then kill us, kill all of us. So in my view, I think the government will have to be, more proactive towards this. But the killings, not justified. Not at any point in time. Not justified at all. Someone say, oh, but these are terrorists, these are... No, we don't think they've gotten to this speed. We don't think they've gotten to that level. If you look at it, if you juxtapose this with the case of Amazonia, you look at how the UN stepped in to give people like Akwanga protection. Under international law. Are you getting me? They were leading people, they went through difficulty, they were if not because some of them probably what to have happened. Yes, they are leading the fight. They're calling for attacks. They're doing things that are resulting in probably
loss of life and maybe property.
But had they not be fronting it or leading that group, who could have imagined what would have happened? Now they're looking up to some of them to give direction. So I mean, they go to Vatican and other to have discussion. Those discussions are what is. But again, who do you talk to? Assuming all the Yorubas are agitated, or most of the youth are agitating now, who do you speak to if there's no leader or there's no rallying point? So I think that is a miscalculation that the government I think it was an opportunity to engage, not to antagonize and not to go. That's my view, honestly.
Okay, listeners, Starr Radio UK, let your comments come in, and those of you who are putting on Facebook, feel free to do so. Those who want to text or WhatsApp, as our text or WhatsApp number is 0753966144. Okay, with me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. We have Mr. Olaimi Koiki all the way in southwest of Nigeria. Okay, Yami, now when it comes to the bodies of the individuals, the two who were shot, killed, whatever means that they killed them, some are saying that, look, because you maimed them, you virtually just scattered, I mean, dismembered the body. That's why you're not giving the bodies to us, because you know, in the Muslim culture, you say that when somebody dies, the same day the person has to be buried. Okay, but if you take the person for a day, 2, 3, and for what, over up to a week, over a week, and you've not brought the person, then consents, eyelashes have to be raised. Now, Yomi, what have the leaders said about that as well?
Well, you know, the pressure is quite building up, because regardless of whatever must have happened, I mean, you know, you've taken 2 dead bodies of the residents. Those 2 individuals were shot, and one was murdered in cold blood as well. But what a lot of Nigerians are asking is, this is not the first time that police have been moved from a particular incident from the government of today or the previous government or in the past. I mean, these are purposely done so that people do not have access to that bodies again. But the demand as of today is, those bodies needs to be, brought back so that forensic can be done on them, and then they can get a proper, burial right according, to their families. But as you speak today, the leader, the legal representatives of the we know that.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. I think we're having a connectivity issue with Mr. Olaimi Koike. Let's see whether it's better now, and then let's go on with it. Yomi. Hello, Yomi.
If we say, I can loud and clear back here from there.
Okay, we have.
When we talk about the DSS,
go on.
The DSS is actually representing, the federal government, and they've actually said in their own press statement that 2 people were killed, but what they did not know the world is that those 2 people, the bodies were taken away. I mean, you actually said.
Okay, Yomi, just bear with us. I think we'll have to reconnect Olaimi Koike's call, because what he's saying is very important. We don't want to miss out on any of that. So, Yomi, please hang up and call back. Let us continue with the conversation. But Frank, what he's saying, I mean, it is not on. It is not on. Now, you took the people. You killed the people. You took the bodies. Now, it is up to you to either come back and say, look, guys, this is the body. Do autopsy on it,
or show them where the bodies are. They're going, and the bodies are supposed to be deposited in the morgue anyway.
Of course.
So you need to show them, what do you call it, the hospital. And the other thing I would like to find out from Olayomi, whether independently they have done a head count of people who were in the house at the time of the incident to ascertain whether it was only 2 people who were killed. And again, those who were taken, can they confirm that they are being treated well, and the number they are given? Because we have been to 2 people are independently. Can that be verified? Or has it been verified?
Yomi, I think you are back, but we can't see you. But let me see. Oh no, I can see you. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. I think we have to bear with the connectivity issue and just see whether we can run through it. Nepa and all that stuff for you. You know what we're talking about. Okay, let's.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I think it's better now. Now, did you hear what Frank was talking about? Have you had the privilege of doing a head count of the people who were in Iboho's house at the time the invasion took place, and how many actually are dead?
Well, it's a simple arithmetic. I mean, we know how many people were in the residence as at the time of the invasion or the assassination attack. These individuals that were released. Remember that a few of them got to be released at a particular spot. After the DSS and the military invaded the house. At a particular location, and them to return back. So that means we now have the clarity of what took place, much more than, because it know how many people were involved in terms of taking away. But after those that returned back, they were people in precise situation of inside the residence as at the time of the invasion. They were also able to tell us precisely how those two individuals were killed, because those two individuals' bodies were lying on the same, with what happened is when this incident was taking place, everybody was brought out of the compound. They were lie down with gun pointing on their head, and the two that were killed, one was still alive, even though he was hit by a heavy metal, and the blood was right next to lying down. After those individuals were moved into the vehicle, the two bodies were also dragged out of the compound and taken away. And as of now, the government did say that in their statement that two people were killed on their side, in terms of those in the house, that they killed two people, which were the security guard. Even though these are not security guard, these were just individuals inside the residence.
Okay. We know that. Yeah, I was struggling to hear, but I think bits are coming through. But whilst we also try to see whether we can sort it out, let me quickly acknowledge Sister Gina Latte, who is listening to us, and Israel Shadimu.
That's why.
Okay. I didn't hear that well though. Okay. Israel Shodimu says all is a game. Please do not believe our coward. He said, do not believe our coward governors. He is of the view that do they think we don't know their plan underground? They all knew something like that will happen to Chief Sunday Igboho. They should have come out that very day to warn Buhari not to try that again. That is unlawful. But they couldn't, because they are full of envy. Which I seem to agree with this statement that Israel has made. And Anthony Adedeji is giving the thumbs up to that statement. Because the issue is, now when it happened, straight ahead, it is your territory. You should have come to say that act is not right. We want the immediate release. They were quiet. I think whether they were thinking, let's gather.
They are part of government. Governors are part of government.
Of course.
Hand in hand
with the federal government.
Do not forget they are lobbying for money. They work hand in hand with government. So that one we cannot discount their role. Even if they know it will be difficult. Again, we have to understand something. All this struggle for Odududua and Igbo people, what are we getting the indication from the governors of those states? Are they opposed to it? If you look at what happened at Catalonia, when the people were agitating, the government, you can see, was in support of what was happening. The leaders put their lives down, and some of them are in prison as a direct result. But that has not stopped the Catalonians from fighting for the cause. The leaders over there, if you look at Amazonia again, the leaders over there, to a point where they seize. I mean, they stop, they form their own nation. I'm not saying yes is the best. They don't pay taxes to the central government. They give the regional government over there are totally in control their school. They don't want to have anything to do with, Yaoundé. Are you getting it? So when it comes to the southeast area, I mean, what is the stand of those governors now, and what are they doing? Because in all these agitations, one would have again expected that the governors will be at the forefront of dialogue. Because it is happening within a territory you are governing. You are the president in that territory. So even Buhari is not doing anything at all, you, the state governor, are supposed to be acting. So all those state governors, what have they been doing? To what extent have they engaged with their own citizens? To what extent have they looked at trying to solve this agitation problem? We don't hear anything about that. So what is their stand? What is their stand? Because the first point of call, the first point of call, before if you we get to what they call it,
the federal government,
should be the state government. So what has been the stand of the state government towards these agitations?
Yomi, let's come back to you, because it's quite an interesting point that Frank is raising. Now the Ododuwa group went to various a couple of states, let me put it that way. Now, what were the reaction of the state authorities?
Well, the reaction was, nothing more than, putting out, security operatives during each of those rallies, more for, a kind of a protection so that it not become a child who lost. It was operatives, although we saw the Abeokuta, the first one that was the mega rally, but eventually they were released on the same day. Yes, in Osun State, in Osogbo, we also was heavy security present, in terms of disrupting the protest. And likewise, we saw the same in Ekiti State. We saw the same thing in Akure. But eventually, in Lagos, it comes more about the operatives, putting out water cannon, putting out, shooting live, bullet that eventually killed, the young girl that died on the day of the rally in Lagos. And we could see also the arrest of 49, to get down in as much as that's also taking close to 6 days, because tomorrow will be 7 days that they've been in the hands, lock and key in Lagos.
Well, it addresses the issue as to whether the governors don't know anything about what is going on and what their take actually is. As Frank has said, they should have come out, and Israel is saying that the governors are not in support of the secession. They all want one Nigeria, since they know what they are getting from it. The truth is very far from the governors in Yoruba states. They are all traitors. That is what he is saying.
Actually, that's a very important an important observation. The reason being that we keep on saying that let's assume that today miraculously we have an Oduduwa nation. Who are those who are going to be the leaders of the new nation? What is going to be new over there? What is there to guarantee that the burdens that we carry today are now going to be dumped in the new nation? We will be seeing people with deep pockets, those who wear fugu, the long ones, telling them that, look, I was an attempted senator. I also was an attempted governor. And someone will come with his heart long and say, I was the governor, and therefore I am qualified to be it. Before you realize,
they've metamorphosed themselves back there as well.
Is either that or there's conflict? Okay, is either that because someone say, okay, when we're struggling, you were dining, and someone will come and say, now who are you? Who knows you? They'll say, oh, okay, are you getting me? So that's what I'm saying. I keep on saying, who are those championing this? What will be the new? How will the new nation looks like? If we do not think that the same governments, will carry themselves and still carry the main problem, should grace come and let's say we have a new nation. I do believe the next step the protesters will want to take now, in my view, will be to send questionnaires to the governors directly, personal questionnaires. Asking them to declare where they stand now or never. Are you getting me? Declare, are you with us or you are against us? Do you believe in this? If yes, if you not, let us know so that we know how to deal with you. That one they know their stand. Are you getting me?
I think it's something that we might have to do. KB, good morning to you as well, and to all of you who are with us on the Facebook transmission and all the other social media platforms. We apologize for the sound, the connectivity issue that we're having from Nigeria, but please bear with us. Let's go back to Ms. Olamide. Now, Yomi, you did talk about the fact that those who have been detained, those who were detained from Sunday Igboho's residence, are suing the DSS. Is that right?
Yes, the and now emotion in terms of the DSS, to produce those 12 individuals in the court of law to get the outcome of where the court will be for them to be brought onto the court, since the DSS have refused the legal representative to have access to them.
So you don't have a clue when they are going to be presented before the courts. I mean, nothing of the sort.
That maybe by Monday, where it will review, that file, in motion, and then the judge will decide on a day to the court.
Okay, listeners, just I apologize sincerely for the connectivity issue there. It's not been like that, but today I don't know what's happening. But things do happen in Africa all the time. Okay, Yomi, we'll let you run up quickly and then we can continue with the conversation. Yeah. So over to you.
Yeah. Trending. Lagos is trending. All trending for so many reasons. There's quite a lot of heavy rain. Probably we just leave it today, and then on Monday I will come back again. The same channel, the same location. Don't touch the dial yet. You still have and that will be taking Monday morning at exactly 11 a.m. On this side of the globe, I say have a very good morning and bye for now.
Okay, listeners, that is Mr. Laimi Koiki. For you, Yomi, thank you very much. We'll catch up later on. But it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Once again, I apologize sincerely for the connectivity issues that we were facing today. It's not been like that, so just bear with us. Continue to share the broadcast and continue to stay with us. Myself, Frank, and I think Kojodi might be joining us, and Mr. Dantabiri as well. So just stay with us. Don't you go away. But a quick one before we end this conversation pertaining to Nigeria. Now, what do you think now with the stance? I mean, everybody's taking their position. You have the federal government saying that justifying what they've done. You have the Yoruba people saying no.
Yeah. Okay,
we have these people who have been imprisoned falsely. They are not being allowed to see their representatives, the legal representatives. Now, he's saying that hopefully by Monday they might present them there. Okay, now with those stands, how would they broker a peace?
Actually, every nation and every government, every organization of the sort must have people we call troubleshooters.
Okay.
I'll be surprised the government has not got troubleshooters. Unless they take arrogant position and is something they determine to ignore and go on, which in my view will invariably come to hurt them. This is where the troubleshooters come in. There might be cutlasses, guns, but underground people must begin to talk.
Yeah.
The vice president,
he hails from that area.
The vice president, key figure in the whole of this meeting. What is he saying about the whole of this? And especially now that his own church, the church he pastors, is voicing out and condemning it.
Yeah.
Because whichever way you look at it, whatever the government does, he's part of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Are you getting me? Because if he thinks that the position he occupies, he's just an office sweeper, a figurehead, then one would have expected him to have resigned so that he can be true to both man and his God.
Yeah. Yeah, in protest of what is going on.
Yeah. I'm not saying you should go and endorse the agitators.
No.
I'm not saying you should go and endorse those who say Yoruba nation, because that will even be a violation of the oath that he took against
the Constitution.
Because he vowed to protect, and he swore
uphold
to uphold the Constitution. The Constitution might not be right, but that is what we have at present. And once you swear by it, you cannot be seen as someone who is agitating it to be thrown away. But I do believe that he's a key element to broker peace over here, or he can, look at people who might intervene in this case. Now, all this constitution issue that yes, he cannot violate it, but he could have at least start a conversation.
Yeah.
Set up. Buhari told us that when the agitation, what they call it, the SARS protest and other things started, and that SARS issue, I told you it was just it was just shifting of personnel. And
yeah. Of course, that's what they did. Yeah.
What they are doing has
the same thing. The
same thing that they are doing. Okay. In my view, your people are calling for a constitutional review. Why has there not been a consultation till now, or at least something to start a discussion? That yet we hear about the middle belt are calling for a review of the constitution. The southwest are calling for a review of the constitution. The southeast are calling for a review of the constitution. Constitutions are not engraved and cast in stones, right? They are living documents which at each point in time must be looked at and must be used, or they must reflect
the current trends. Yeah.
And if the current trends shows that a large number of people do not feel comfortable with a document and they cannot work with it because the document is working for them and it's supposed to be working in their interest, then we should expect and we should be calling for a review, which they are calling for.
There's a problem there. People are calling for that, but the issue is that the northern Senate, the members of the Senate or the House, the representatives, the northerners are more than those in the south.
Okay.
And therefore, whatever happens, when they go, it will not pass. Actually, that is the problem.
But have we seen a bill being put into the Parliament to look for a constitutional review? We haven't seen that.
We've not seen that, but the northern senators and what they call them, representatives, are saying that they say, well, the moment people come to them, they say, go to the House of Representatives, present your case there, knowing that they have the majority there.
We cannot assume that because they have, what do you call it?
Majority there.
Majority. So, of course, if we're going to come out with a new constitution that will work against even the northerners, it's unacceptable because we would have done reverse the situation. Now, a document that will work for both the north and the south is what we're looking for. Right? So I do believe that we should not just write off this, don't go to House of Representatives. They should forward their case over there. They should, the southern MPs over there should make a case over there. And if it's a good case enough, I mean, the northerners will accept it in whichever way you look at it. Because at the end of the day, actually, we're not going to be having northerners over there for life.
No.
I mean, those who left, I mean, Obasanjo has been there, was he a northerner?
No.
While the good luck has been there, was he a northerner?
No.
So at the end of the day, what's a guarantee that the next president will be a northerner? We do not know. Are you getting me? So I do not think, excuse my language, northern MPs will be blocked stupid not to even want to. And who says some northerners are not in favor of a review of the constitution? We've not tested that opinion. There's no evidence to show that. So in my view, the agitators should proceed, or the vice president to use his capacity to start the discussion about a constitutional review. In my view, that alone will start to calm tensions down, because we need to do that before anything else. If that discussion is not being held, then I think it's a missed opportunity to coil tension at the government, and it's a tool at the disposal of the government. It's a tool at the disposal of the government.
And that is where what Jeremy Corbyn says all the time. It's better to negotiate, to talk, rather than to go bumping or shooting.
It doesn't work.
It won't work, because the more you kill people, the more people will rise up as well. Okay, Israel Shadimu, he's going to say, concerning the vice president, of course, he's a Yoruba man, but he's just a statue, there. He's not giving any. Okay, let me take it. He said he's not giving any voice. He's just a minority in the midst of Fulanis in Aso Rock. Then Olabisi Folayan says, forget about the country called Nigeria, lawless country. Buhari said, no restructuring. And he said, that's what I hope that the president hadn't said
and that is where integrity comes in. And Obasanjo, the vice president, I mean, that's where we expect that. Look, unless Osibanjo, unless he believes in the trend that is going on, what is going on. But if not, then one would have expected him to protest. unless he's just enjoy being called a vice president and enjoy making his money and enjoy having his influence. I mean, we might not know what he's doing underground.
Yeah.
But where I see it, I've not seen any evidence. I mean, apologize if he's doing something that we do.
He made not to cut you. He made a statement. I think either sometime last year or early part of this year, saying that there are cracks. I think early part of this year after the crossover and this thing, that there are cracks in Nigeria. He went somewhere, made that statement. I think that time the president was here in the UK. He made that statement, and people were looking at it. If he's come out to say agree that there are cracks, that means that it needs to be fixed.
Okay,
but nothing is being done.
If there are cracks, which filler? When was the last time he bought filler?
What kind of filler is it going to be used?
Where's cement that he's using to try and fix it? That is what I want to see. Acknowledging that their crack is the first step. Identification of a problem is a good step. But what are you then doing? Are you going to sit down for blood to be shed? Are you going to just sit down? Well, blood is being shed every day. So probably they see it as once it doesn't affect their family. But I would want to see him more. I mean, you can resign if you so with your integrity. People will respect your.
It's a protest. It's true that people say wow, and they will say that.
You know, so I am a bit troubled about his stance. You know, I'm a bit troubled about the way he's been, because we keep on accusing Buhari, but there's a deputy over there who is the vice president.
The minority, even in the cabinet, it's not like, okay, the whole cabinet is full with nordness. No, there are some minority people in the cabinet. What have been their stance? Are they making their voice heard? That look, what is happening? It's not right. It's not right. And let be a mass resignation or protest. And the people will say that yes, you are representing your people, but like you are saying, because it doesn't affect me directly, it is okay. Let it go on. We just be quiet as far as we are living and enjoying whatever pegs.
And that's what we see everywhere in Africa. The problem of people, just a few cases that you see someone saying that I do not agree with this, and therefore it affects my own personal belief, it affects the way I think, it affects my people, and therefore I am out of this game. You get me?
Rarely will you see that or hear that.
Mostly people are in consideration for what they will be losing on a daily basis in terms of monetary gains and the power they will, you know.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We will take a quick break. We come back. The lines will be open for you. Let me announce the lines open first, and then we take the break. And when we come back, we'll just talk on a couple of stories. We'll be in Ghana as well, having a look at some of the stories there. Hashtag fix the country. I've got some live song that I'm going to be playing for you. Last night I was searching when Frank sent me. I was searching to see what I got. Now I searched. I didn't find. I said, okay, this is what is going to go on. It will go on. We've loaded it already, and it will be coming your way. So don't touch the dial. But if you want to join in the conversation, 0208-133-2257 or 5802-08133-2257 or 58. If you are US or Canada, it is 001-718-303-2737 001-718-303-2737. You can also text or WhatsApp us 075-3966-1744 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. All right then, let's take a quick break. We come back and we look at some of the other stories.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. This afternoon, exactly at 3 o'clock, it will be happening live once again. What is happening? Roots of Africa and an idol production will be taking place once again, hosted by Mr. Frank Davis. We'll be telling you more about that during the course of the program. Who will be on the platform today and what they're going to be looking at? Well, if you want to be well informed, I mean, people are, I don't want to use some terms, shallow-minded when it comes to where they come from, and they're not sure what even some of their royals are doing. I know some people call for, let's disband royals. We don't care about them or our culture. Let's forget about everything that we know. Let's move on to a new terrain and a new regime. But you want to know more. If you don't know where you are coming from, you wouldn't know when even you reach the destination, because you think that you are going right. You don't know where you are. Okay, so it's important to know that. So make sure you listen to that. If you're a businessman, you are looking forward to investing in other parts of the African continent, whether in the Caribbean, whether you are listening to us in the Caribbean or not, you want to the proper return to Africa to invest there, make sure you listen to that program. It well informs you. It gives you all the links and the connections to be able to do so swiftly and easily. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis, and I am Archie. Let's quickly have a look at a couple of the stories here. The Met PC has pleaded guilty to Sarah Everett's murder. The 33-year-old was abducted by Wayne Cousins while walking home in London in March, but he has pleaded guilty. So I think the case is going to go straight, and then they will end it. So I hope that brings a bit of closure for the family, because no matter what they do, even if they shoot him, it will not bring Sarah back.
Back. But I mean, the fact is, the good thing is, I mean, he has basically admitted that he committed the offense, that he has accepted responsibility, that his actions led directly to the girl's death. One being that he adopted the girl, two, he raped her, and three, basically ended up killing her, I mean, so to say, and again try bringing pain and grief to the family. He should expect a very, very long sentence, life sentence.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we're going to be looking at.
Definitely. Another death that occurred, a very sad one, about a black boy. The police watchdog has issued misconduct notices to 2 Met police officers over the way a student disappearance was handled. Richard Okoroge, 19, went missing from his home in Ladbroke Grove, West London, on the 22nd of March. His body was found 20 miles away in Epping Forest, SS, 2 weeks later. There is an indication that they may have failed to pass on new and relevant information. The Independent Office for Police Conduct have said Mr. Okoroje's mother, Evidence Joel, has previously alleged that when her son's disappearance was first reported, police did nothing.
Yeah, actually, I've always questioned the account. I think we discussed this issue extensively, and my stand has been that there's something that is not adding up. Because look, this is someone who we are told has a bit of mental issues. How did he end up knowing that there's a lake over there to end up in that lake? That is very, very. It's not. That is very,
who told him that? Because it's not some.
You took transport. All the way from Nottingham, all the way to
Epping Forest.
Epping Forest to jump. One would have expected that, if anything at all, you take a walk in environments that you know, around the areas that you know. And I've always asked, what are the last phone signals of the boy? Do they have them? Who was he communicating with at that time? Because we know, as a matter of fact, that even men and young boys have been lured by pedophiles and homosexuals, males, and sexually assault them and murder them. It happened in Backing. When there was a guy over there who was befriending boys online and would take them to back and end up killing them. So the question again is, I mean, who was this guy in contact with? The sad story of the whole thing is that, according to the mom, it got to a point when she called the police said, don't call this station again. They were telling her not to call again for she's disturbing them. This is a mother. We all saw how Sarah was handled. We all saw how the McCann Madeline. Even to date, investigation. We all saw how that was handled. But when it comes to this boy, it's as if he does not matter. And that's why people will continue to accuse the government, the place, of being institutionally racist. We saw what happened to those beautiful girls at the Wembley Park. The way it was handled. So we continue to ask, if the boy was a white chap,
would he be treated the same way?
Would the mother be treated this way? Would the case be handled this way? And obviously no, because evidence suggests that when it happened to another individual, Sarah, the whole country went singing. When it happened to Madeline, the whole country and the whole police spent millions of pounds trying to find him. Trying to find her. So the question is, if this boy had a Caucasian skin, what would they have acted the way they did?
That's a big question. We want your take on that. But it is Starr Radio UK. We have Kojo D who has joined us, and let's cross over to him. Kojo, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys in the studio. You're doing well, really, really well.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see here from the sound of my voice.
Yes. Okay, let's crack on. So what do you think about this what do you call him, this young boy's demise? Where Okurege.
As we know, under the normal situation, when you believe somebody is missing, the police will usually say 24 hours. But from my understanding, you can actually report to the police anytime you feel somebody is missing. It doesn't have to be 24 hours. So I think with this situation, I mean, there have been sightings of him traveling in a London bus. And there have been sightings showing where he was heading toward. So if the mother had reported repeatedly, I mean, those are signs to say to show the Met Police or the officers who are handling the case that there is a serious issue at stake. Given the fact that he suffers from, I think, bipolar. It should have been taken more serious quickly than the actions that were applied by the police. I think that is why the two police officers involved directly in the case are being investigated.
I think he was suffering from sickle. It was sickle.
He had sickle cell. He had sickle cell. He had sickle cell. I thought he had some bipolar.
No,
he had sickle cell. And I mean, I think the mother's concern was he hadn't had anything to eat. Then with sickle cell, I mean, if you know how sickle cell is, it's only you witnessing how people suffer from sickle cell that will tell you that they are very, 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 very vulnerable. Because you can have crisis anytime. I mean, it's an unpredictable disease, right? So you can have crisis anytime. You can have crisis in cold weather. You can have crisis when even your temperature changes, or even the temperature changes around you. You can have crisis when you are even under stress if you have sickle cell. So putting all those things together, there could have been a better action taken to quickly trace and track where he was. Like Riley Frank alluded to, they could have tracked down his mobile phone signals much earlier than they did. So I think it's right for the investigation to be carried out. It's right that those officers should be investigated for misconduct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK. Another big story that is making the rounds here in the UK. We'll touch on that one quickly and then we'll move on to other stories. Now, campaigners have lost their legal challenge to the government's 2-child limit on welfare payments. I thought that we could have Mr. Dantaburi on to maybe throw more light on it, but he will not be on. We're going to be doing a repeat when it comes to his program there. But hopefully next week when we have him, we'll be looking into that. Now, they had argued that the policy breached parents and children's human rights. The Supreme Court has dismissed their case. Now, the rule, which came into force in April 2017, restricts child tax credit and universal credit to the first 2 children in a family, with a few exceptions. Now, it was one of George Osborne's most debated austerity measures. The policy has affected families of about 1 million children. Now, campaigners described the decision as hugely disappointing. The case was brought by 2 lone mothers and their children, supported by the Child Poverty Action Group. The court ruled they should not be identified. One had health problems and was in low-paid work. The other fell pregnant while on the pill. Both and had children born after April 2017, and so were affected financially by the policy. Now, you look at this. This is something that is, looking across. It cuts across our communities massively. Is affecting people. So if you have first 2, that is okay. That is after 2017. So all the remaining that you will have. But these are people who are saying that, look, we are even using family planning.
Yeah.
And so it's not by our own desire that, we want to have a 3rd one, a 4th one, but then this has happened. Now, do you think that the court's ruling here is wrong? Because they should have taken into consideration the fact that they were doing everything in their means to stop, not to get pregnant.
Actually, this is a very difficult one. And it borders on individual choices as well. And again, it borders on to what extent should the state continue to basically be a victim of individual choices. Actually, you and I sit over and have the chance. We are men, we can give birth to 20. But probably we've opted not to give birth to 20 each. Okay, we could give birth to a football team, a whole football team next time, and then let's assume that for every child that you give birth to, you are being paid for that. I can decide to be a donor and go after different women and just donate kids.
And you go around and be taking money.
But at the end of the day, every week, if I go around 30 kids and have £10 for their payout, that's a trend. No thanks. I'm good enough. You get me? So, that's a choice I need to make. But we need to look at what is possible, what is not. The state cannot continuously pay people endlessly. The other pressing demands are also there. But that's not to say that when the children are out over here now with us, we should neglect them. That I wouldn't accept that. But the argument that they couldn't control or other thing, it doesn't hold too much, because there are a lot of methods of what they call it,
abstinence.
Even if you are married, if you do not want it. But again, that moral argument again comes in here. That the state now decide? We do not have a state policy that you should have 2 or 3 children, like the way they had in China. And now even China has last 3 years they brought it to 2 children.
Now I think they are.
If you can. So it's a very difficult balance. You again look at the conservatives, people who are more of Republican and life begin. Their thinking is that we must give birth as many as we can. So at the end of the day, some people are just there to, let me use this crude language, breed. You get me? I don't think the state should have a policy that just pay out just because you
decide that you want to
decide to do that. Parents must have a bit of responsibility towards their actions. You cannot be enjoying your sex and tell me that I mean,
Frank will have to pay for it.
I have to pay for it endlessly. It doesn't sit well. It doesn't make sense.
Let me go to Kojo. Kojo, do you think that the court ruling is justified? Because if people are saying that, look, we were not that I deliberately or I planned or we planned to have some more children, but maybe I was doing everything. I was taking the pill. The man was doing whatever they had to do, and yet we have. So we can even end up saying that we are suing those companies.
Actually, before what they call Kojo comes in, that's briefly. If there's evidence, they consulted the doctor that they now want to do family planning. The doctor recommended a pill
for them,
and they continue to take that pill without anything, and that's the only solution that was. I mean, they gave them, and they got pregnant. They went to the doctor. They can take a case against the doctor, the NHS, and they can take a case against the pill manufacturing company.
Okay.
But a lot of doctors, when you go to them, you say you want to stop giving birth. They will not even recommend only the pill to you, but they will go further to give you an implant.
Okay.
Okay. So that decision that we did everything possible and I was on a pill does not go far enough.
Okay. I hope that we get some women to come and react to that, because we are men. Kojo, over to you.
I think it's quite a very difficult, tricky situation, if I put it that way. But we should go back to way back to 2010, 11 years ago, when the conservative government came into power, when they go into office, and that Cameroon and Oxford had a plan to reduce the national debt.
Yeah.
They had a plan also to cut down on benefit. So they had multiple plans that were going to effectively reduce how much the state doled out to people without benefit or on income support. So this was part of the strategy to do that. And it wasn't the only strategy. There were other strategies alongside that. So, for example, if a couple and between them more than 100,000, automatically they have a tax surcharge or back onto them if they claim even child benefits. Okay, so there were a couple of things they did, and within that same frame, they have 50,000. If just the husband or the wife, one of them should earn more than 50,000. Again, that stops them from claiming child benefits. So if they do it, whatever difference they claim, they file their tax return and there's a tax surcharge put back onto them. So there were quite a number of things they did, but unfortunately, for people within a certain income bracket, where this tax surcharge doesn't apply to them when they earn over a certain income, because they are low income earners. Yeah, so it's not really applicable to them. So their main source of what they looked towards was to collect child support, or child benefits. But at the same time, the government put in place other measures that they think will help. Like Frank said, it's a difficult thing when it comes to someone would say they don't believe in family planning, they don't believe in it. So it's really difficult to say because you don't believe in it, you should be, in a way they are saying they are being punished for not believing in something that the government intended to do. But I think with everything there is a consequence. So if the judge is ruling that this breached their rights, that is why the courts are there to test the case. And I'm quite very sure that this isn't going to be the end of this case. The state will definitely going to put in an appeal,
I think the state has won. I mean,
the state has won. The state has won the case now. So
yeah. So because the reason why the state has won the case, well, let me say the reason why the state has won the case is going to be a major policy change, and that shouldn't really happen. It means that the state will have to go back several years and repay everybody if the state didn't win the case. People who fell into that category, whether it was their fault, it wasn't their fault, whether they were responsible, they were not responsible, whether they didn't take enough precautions, or whether they took precautions, the state would have to go back and reset all that payment. But these have gone through Parliament and it was approved. So it means when it goes back, it has to go back as a bill to be redone. So I mean, it's a great thing that is what somebody would say from the point of government. They would say it's a great thing they won the case. But from the point of other people, it's a sad day.
But
so, we can't win in all both ways.
In all this, I mean, the states also have to look at certain decisions that are being made, and why certain ones are being criminalized and others. Look, I can stand up to them gender fluid, and the state back me. I can decide I'm going to do sexual. I'm going to take my penis off and get a vagina implanted in me at surgery and other things. Anything goes wrong, I'll come back and put a burden on the NHS, and the state has a responsibility for it. We have someone who now say, what do you call it? They woke up, they feel like they are
gender fluid.
No, this has gone beyond gender fluid.
And they feel like what?
They feel and act like Koreans, and they've lived in Korea, so they've spent.
They've never been there.
No, they've been there.
Yeah, that's right. That was last week.
Okay, I missed that one.
They have spent £178,000 over the last few years doing surgery, including their eyes. They've changed the way and now they look more like Koreans, and they tell you it is because that's how they feel. That now, being a race, I am a black man now. I can feel like, I feel like I want to be white.
I go spray myself,
so I can go and do any surgery. Then the burden comes, it's the NHS. So, and the NHS, the government board. So we need to look at the extent to which certain choices that we make are being supported heavily by the state, but certain choices that we make are criminalized by the state. If I can decide to be gender fluid, go and have sexual change, plant breast, do whatever I have it, and I have an ailment, and the state can stand by me and pay for me, then if I decide to have sex and have children, why can't the state support me? Are you getting me? I decide to be a Korean. I've gone to do surgery. The state is supporting me and setting my right because I feel like it.
Frank, I will come in. He's now coming. I think it's quite a tricky one because
this is feeling so. I feel like having sex. The bottom line is feeling.
If by the same thing you are saying, if someone decided to smoke their lungs out, are we going to say because the state shouldn't have a responsibility to bear somebody's cost? Because the NHS is for everybody. It's not a private institution. So if I go out privately, and what we discussed, I'll go out privately, I'll have a gender reassignment surgery, or have a racial reassignment surgery to become a Chinese or a Korean. But out of that, in later life, I developed complications. Would I say because it was my fault, the state shouldn't? Is that what the state is going to say? The answer would be probably no. If it's the American system, then you can understand. That's why I made an illustration with someone who smoked their lungs out, and someone who drank so much that they had
liver cirrhosis.
Issues.
Yeah.
We wouldn't say we shouldn't look after those people. So it's again choice, making wrong choices, making right choices, not making certain choices. So it's really, really very tricky.
difficult area.
Do you think that maybe there should be a cap so that they said that, oh well, every individual you can spend up to your lifetime up to maybe 50,000 or 100,000 on NHS treatment. After that, you can't go any further.
Determines how much a cancer will cost to.
Exactly. You're right.
It's going to be very, very difficult. If I get involved in an accident and I need amputation, or I might need a wheelchair, I need a carer. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult. I mean, but it's a very, very thorny area as to choices and which choices are backed by the guy. Because when I listen to this race reassignment, I say, well, and the guy was arguing, say, look, people go gender free, we don't question them. Why is he being questioned?
I'm going to do something.
That's how he feels. He wants to be like a Korean. And he's done, and you know what?
Yeah, it was last week.
He likes it because the Koreans feel like, oh, they respect him. They think he's good, and he now feels like them. He looks like them. They support him. He doesn't care about whatever other people look at. And he said, I was in my car. I was like, you deserve a slap.
Okay, I think I want to feel like no Korean leader. so I'm going to be like him. We'll be in the palace, me and him. Well, listen, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's quickly have a couple of other stories. We'll, today, our apologies, we'll not have time for our money hour because our money man is busy. So we'll use the time to look at all the other stories.
He's writing some checks.
Yes, writing some checks for you. Next week he will present it to you. Okay, now the story about the Haitian president's murder. Or assassination, and now they're saying that foreign hit squad killed the Haiti president. The police are saying, and they've arrested some people, lined up a group of 28 foreign mercenaries, including retired Colombian soldiers, assassinated Haiti's president Juvenal Moise. Earlier this week, the police have said most were detained after a gun battle at a house in the capital Port-au-Prince, where they were holed up. Now, bloodied and bruised suspects were paraded in front of media on Thursday, along with a slew of seized weapons. Now, I don't want to go into the other bits of the story, but you know, when things like that happen and our inefficiency is revealed, then we try to take some knee-jerk reactions just to as a facade, and then we just pointing finger. No. But the first thing is that you have borders. What did you do? You have the presidency. What, did you protect the president enough? We are not talking about that. They just quickly accusing other people of doing that.
But actually, yesterday, for instance, the first information that came out was that they went as what do you call it? Something their inspectors or whatever. Again, that will explain in a security labs that people can just turn up to see the president just because they carry and something that looks like an official ID card. There's no back checking. Then you allow them into the residence. That if that's what happened, then we do have a problem with that. Secondly, are we not being told that they went there in a combat mood and battled and fought their way out?
There's conflicting statement coming from there.
Or it happened after they have killed the president, the gun battle. Actually, I would not be surprised that there's foreign intrusion over there, because what has happened, we know from what evidence available, this guy has been trying to take some reforms, very drastic reforms that the big multinational companies are against, trying to get his people out of poverty. It's one of the poorest countries in the world, and it has been a problem for his presidency. He wants to push ahead with this reform, and these companies and these billionaires who basically among the poor, they are billionaires. Among the poor, they are people who control wealth. Are you get me? The anger of American soldiers of Haitian, what they call it,
defense,
being part of it raises a lot of questions. Are we seeing Mark Thatcher's agenda? Is that what we're seeing over here? You saw what happened in Gambia. Yahya Jammeh's time, when they were again Some people from the US, who were, I mean, what they call Gambians, flew into the country, organized some people, and wanted to topple. That's exactly what we're seeing over here. But because of his presidential guards, I mean, efforts, I mean, they would have killed him. They would have taken over at that time. Is there a foreign hand in this? Because why would Colombian soldiers come and do in Haiti?
Yeah. What has Haiti got that Colombian soldiers want to come for it?
So actually, it raises a lot of questions.
Kojo.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, too many people involved. You can see clear that as the other countries, Colombia has talked that they were ex-military people, so they were rightly mercenaries. Yeah, definitely. They have gone there on a military mission purposefully to remove the president from office, but they hadn't been successful in doing that. And not being successful, I'm just wondering why they hadn't managed to leave the country as soon as possible, given the fact that Haiti's borders are very porous. So they were actually in Haiti for 2 days. They couldn't cross out of the country. It just suggests to me that they are probably amateur mercenaries who hadn't planned their mission properly. But that said, like you say, what is in Haiti for Colombians and Haitian Americans? Of course, you can understand someone who is Haitian American has an interest in its own country. But recruiting 15 ex-military from Colombia or more than that, then it all talks about is a failed military takeover. That's what it is. And I don't know how all these ex-military didn't manage to plan properly to leave the country, because for most professional mercenaries, they would have been long gone when they realized that things didn't go right, except they were still hanging around hoping that the country will be destabilized by they killing the president. And once the country is destabilized, then they will be in a position to take control and plant their man in place. That's the only thing I can think, and still continue to provide the maximum security or support to the man. But by the quick thinking of the Haitian military to stop everything, they would have probably succeeded. Given the fact that some of them had already provided security in so many places. So all this while when they were planning this, when did they get into the country? Did they plan it outside the country and came into the country, or they came into all those things will need to be looked at. And when they were coming into the country, how did they come in? What ammunition did they bring into the country? I mean, all those will be probably be something that will be carefully looked at by the Haitian military and security service. And obviously, we all know how this is going to pan out. Most people who are whatever sort of involved in this type of thing will probably not even talk. And they will not even provide information on their source or who is funding the whole activity. They will just go quiet and that's it.
Either flee the country themselves, because
that is, I mean, if you look at the Mark Thatcher incident, I mean, when he was apprehended in Zimbabwe and other things, again, as South African military soldiers were those who were hired to go to Equatorial Guinea to actually, I mean, overthrow the leader over there. And you would have asked, I mean, why are they so interested in those countries? Actually, it's a very, very difficult situation, but you know what? It's all about control, money, control, power. It's sad. Exactly.
Do you people think that maybe if there's an international law saying, I mean, there shouldn't be any coup d'etat, and therefore, I mean, the moment you conduct a coup,
that's already silently there.
Yeah, so because it's silent.
Countries that engage in coup d'etats, they become ostracized by the international community. So it's already there, but the perpetrators of these coups do not care. Look, they don't care because they know over time from the experience of Zimbabwe, where there was a coup to remove Mugabe by his own soldiers and his own people, and then they later on installed the former vice president of Mugabe as a president. They know that there's always a backdoor to these things. So they know they will probably have a coup. The international community there'll be outcry, condemnation all over the place.
Just a matter of time.
And a matter of time, they just say, we promise to have free and fair election in the next 3 to 6 months. And they know that in the next 3 to 6 months, they are going to manipulate the results in their own favor. So we can already tell from the experience of Zimbabwe, the other African country, was it Mali?
We saw Mali. It in Mali, and we saw it in
Sudan.
Sudan. So we already know what will happen, because once one country did it and there wasn't any sanctions against that country, the first country to have done it and there was no sanctions was Zimbabwe. And once that there wasn't any sanction and Mali followed, another country followed, it's going to happen, and the people will find their way around it. And the international community would never ostracize the country forever.
I agree with you there, but you see, the concern here is that if natives or call it people of a particular country are not being treated fairly, and they are shouting and they are crying and they are making so much noise, and the international community will not come and add their voice to say that, come on, look at it, then it is up to the people to say that, okay, we've done everything peacefully and it cannot happen. And so the best way forward is to maybe get somebody to go strike the heads of these people, and then there's a coup d'etat, overthrow the government. We just whatever.
Whether international law or not, I wouldn't say no to coups. I mean, there are certain situations where someone can justify a coup action, a military intervention. So sometimes you need to keep that over there as a visible threat.
Okay, so that you know that you are there, you have to behave yourself. If not,
that is why some of these people, when they come to power, again, they have their men put in positions. I mean, the military hierarchy are actually people who support government and power, so that you try to do everything possible to stop your own government being overthrown, which is for me the right thing to do. But that visible threat must always be there. If not, especially in our part of the world where we have presidents acting as if the country belongs to them, it's quite difficult.
It's quite difficult. Listen to Starr Radio UK, 12:29 virtually. We've got about 21 minutes to go. Let's have a quick break. We come back and then we'll be going to Africa. We'll look at one story from South Sudan. The South Sudanese leader is saying that, well, I promise you, after 10 years of independence, whether independence or breakup or whatever, that I'm not going to take you into war. The country will not go into any war. What kind of promise is that? And then Ghana will go to the fish. Why am I saying fish? Maybe they need to give all of them fish. Fix the country. A protest that still is going on, the loss of Kaka. And the fact that the family have decided that, look, we don't want to be part of this committee or whatever they're doing, because we don't think that we can get the justice that we so much require from them. We'll be having a look at that. But stay tuned, don't you go away. Starr Radio UK.
This Friday on the Roots of Africa program on Starr Radio at 3 p.m. GMT time and 6 p.m. East Africa time, we're going to host
a masterpiece of inspired leadership, an overcomer of circumstances by God's grace.
Lady Reverend Dr. Abanate, Executive Director of AIDO Ghana. She will be talking about the Ghana Convention. And on Raya TV, we will be hosting His Honorable Ramadan Bugale and Agnes Mogwabi, our country ambassador, talking about trade and enterprise in Kenya.
We also need to diversify. We want people to come and invest in manufacturing now, because if you look at what we get out of coffee and tea and agricultural products, it's not equivalent to what other countries are exporting.
At 4:30 GMT time and 7:30 East Africa time. Welcome and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So make a date with Mr. Frank Davids when this afternoon, exactly at 3 o'clock, he hosts the one and only Lady Reverend Dr. Bethany, Lady Reverend Dr. Abenate, Executive Director, AIDO. Okay, today it is 3 p.m. here in the UK, and on Raya TV it's 4:30 p.m. Uganda, Nairobi, 7:30 p.m. EST. Okay, but Frank, I know that there's some other media houses that will be picking that broadcast. Can you throw a bit of light on it so that
we will also be live on Raya TV across East Africa, and we'll also be live on Voice of Teso across Uganda, South Africa too. There's a station that is picking it in the KwaZulu-Natal area. So it's the program is growing. Panama too, we are being linked up over there. The program is growing, and we're hoping for more grace to grow Starr Radio more.
Yes. So if you are listening to us and maybe you're part of the world, you want a representation, maybe you have a radio station and you think, oh, these are good programs that I want to be part of. I want you to, pipe it to out. It's not for free. Just get in touch with us. You can email us. Our email address is info@starradio.uk, info@starradio.uk, or you can call us on 0203 3711882, 0203 3711882, and someone will talk to you. All right, then, it is Starr Radio UK. Now let's go quickly to Sudan and then to Ghana. But Kojo is in South London, and we have Mr. Frank Davids with me here in the studios. I'm Archie. Now, South Sudan President Salva Kiir pledged Friday today that he will not return the country to war. Okay, Kojo's line dropped his bag. My apologies. Now, he said he will not return the country to war in a speech marking the 10th troubled years of independence. Now, he says in the quote, "I assure you that I will not return you back to war again. Let us work all together to recover the last decade and put our country back to the path of development in the new decade," he said in an address to the nation. He has been the leader since the inception of that country. They broke away from Sudan, and that is where when we have the former president of Nigeria, Obasanjo, saying that, well, he doesn't think that breaking up ends well, because we're talking about citing this country, South Sudan as an example. Now, 10 years on, so languishing in war, no development.
That is why when we come to Nigeria, we will not encourage the agitations to resort or descend into war. We do not need to get to war for international community to come in, and after we finish killing the bodies that we need to build a country, we now proclaim that we're signing peace accords and nations. No, I don't think, because South Sudan example is clear that look, there's no point killing ourselves just because we want to break away. If a group of people who are connected culturally, geographically, things that they want to go their own way, if they go through the process and the people decide that this is what we want to do, let them go.
Okay.
But again, the example of South Sudan is there to guide us that, look, proclaiming or calling yourself, yes, freedom does not bring to you heaven. So a new nation will never be heaven. So if you think that your problem are only going to be experienced or will continue to be experienced unless you break away, you better think, because South Sudan today cannot tell us that they are drinking honey and milk. Even some places water is even difficult to come by. Talk less honey and milk. So those are some of the things we need to look at. But I like what he said, that he will not return the country to. That's a good assurance enough. That's a good assurance, but they're gonna add more.
Because what should the South Sudanese people do?
That's a hard one for them to really try to forge ahead. I mean, I think we all know why the country couldn't really develop over this period of time, because as soon as they had the independence, civil war broke out, and which is a strange thing to happen when the country has just broken away from another country, and them going into war and fighting. They fought for almost 5 to 6 years. So many lives were lost, so many people were killed. So what they should be doing now is, in my opinion, they should put the past aside and try to work through their difficulties and unite the country and try to develop the country. I mean, the country is already kind of rich in their oil already. They have oil, but the country is so poor. So it's a difficult thing. Yeah, if you look at all the countries surrounding them, I'm not saying that oil brings wealth, but we know for a lot of the Middle Eastern countries, not too far from them, oil has been the main resource they had. The whole country is desert, but those countries have become extremely rich because the countries have been run properly. And South Sudan, whose main export is oil, they can also get rich. Although there is great natural resource in the country, but oil alone can make them rich.
Rich as well.
But the resources are poorly managed, and the infighting sort of continues, and it's really worrying. But that is not also a panacea to say that when other countries break away, they are not going to do well, or some parts of the country break up, they are not going to do well. Countries can always break up. Some will do well, some will not do well. If you look at probably Ethiopia broke away from, or Eritrea broke away from Ethiopia, and they have relatively also been very poor in running the country, if I put it that way. I mean, they have suppressed their own people. We see the vast majority of Eritreans roaming in the globe, and they have a vast majority in Israel. Because part of them say we come from Israel, so that is where they all want to go to, because a whole lot of them are Christians, so they don't find any other country close to them to go to, apart from going all the way to Israel. So those are, examples, but you can still go to other examples. When India broke up, of course that is in Asia, broke up into 3 different parts of Pakistan, as we know today. They are relatively okay, although it's not a prosperous country. They have their own problems, but the country has thrived. You can also look at maybe Bangladesh, I think, which also was broke away from Pakistan in a way. They've also been okay. They've had their own problems, but they are also fairly doing well.
Okay.
So, yeah, countries can do well if they have a will. But the problem develops when people don't really want to work together, as in the case of South Sudan. The vice president and the president had their own fashion. They didn't want to work together. So if you have people that way, then it's going to be really difficult for a country to move forward. Even if it's not a country that has broken away. Let's take it a country that go independent and they decide not to work together. The president and the vice president are each other's throats because they wanted to achieve some unity in the first government, so they put them together. They won't work. It won't work.
Okay. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. 9 minutes to the top of the hour. The time, the morning show with me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davids, and we have Mr. Kojodi, South London, Archie, and we are looking at some of the stories making the rounds. Now we've landed in Ghana, our last story, so that we can bring the program to a close. But I promise you, I'm going to bring you some music. You don't want to miss out on that at all. That's a proper lovely tune. Yes, you can't get it anywhere, so you have to make sure that you stay on to listen to that before we end the broadcast. Now, a Judicial Committee is six days extension to complete work, but the family whose loss caused this shooting to take place for this committee to be formed are saying that we've withdrawn from it because we don't think that the justice that will require this committee can give us that. Now, why? Meanwhile, the municipal chief executive for Ejura in the Ashanti region, Mohammed Salisu Bamba, has denied reports that 2 out of the 3 individuals arrested in connection with the killing of Ibrahim Kaka are his bodyguards. You remember, when the arrest took place, the first 2, they came out to say that these are bodyguards.
He's on his record. He himself is on record to have said that he has information that one of the person that is being sought by the police works with him. He's on record to us.
Yeah, but now during the probing, he came out to say that when they was asked the question, when asked if the suspects were his bodyguards by the 3-member committee probing the killings in Nigeria, he retorted, "Not at all."
Actually, I support the family from withdrawing wholeheartedly. I think what we are witnessing is theater that is being staged. That is what we are witnessing, because some of the comments that are being made, and even by those on the panel, is shocking. And for instance, I mean, blaming the media.
Yeah.
I mean, the media were there to cover. It doesn't make sense. Some of the questions that were being asked and the response that were being given, and you sit down and say, can't they question and probe a little bit more? Are we just doing getting people to surface and come so that we also they get counted as they've given their response? Because it doesn't make sense. For instance, if the Ashanti regional minister was saying that he had a report that the police station was going to be burnt, first, were they shot close to the police station? No. You were the one who called in the military. Yeah. If you called in the military, if the police station was going to be burnt, and
why didn't they go to the?
Why didn't they go to? Surround the police station. Well, it doesn't make sense. So, if someone gives that such a response, and there are no follow-up questions, then you want to find out whether this is theater that is being staged, opera house
drama. That is drama, serious one.
So, if I think I support the family. It's better. I mean, those who sit in the committee think that something is going to come. They should go, because in the first place, we also understand that they were not consulted when the panel was being formed. That's another.
Now, do you think that they should have been consulted?
They should. Yes, they should have been. They should have been consulted. I think they should have been consulted, because that is how, I mean, you confidence building starts. Confidence building starts. That's how it is. So if they were even not consulted and they'll call out to come, the other thing is that there are 2 conflicting reports from the family now, and the people who are pushing this They're on the comment. Some of them, again, the government is pushing two stories. One, someone who claimed to be in the house, seeing that the brother was the one who killed him.
They heard that the brother, they were fighting in the room, heard a boom or something.
That she went and called the wife of the man to come and see what has happened, and that the man was being dragged. One story. Another story that came out first was that it was attacked by a mob. From the own English definition that I know, a mob is different from an individual being dragged in by this person. As I yesterday, 2 days ago, the wife of the guy who was killed has come to say that he challenges anyone to come and swear by Quran who says that it was the brother who killed the man and she herself was called to witness it. So you ask yourself, how come quickly can we assemble people on camera to say that it was a brother? Hurriedly get the police to go and get the brother. Actually, you know what? You remember Paul Afoko's case? You remember Gregory Ako?
Yeah.
You remember that even to a point where the judge,
he's not being granted bail.
When the judges said he should be granted bail, he was quickly rearrested, and the courts have been disobeyed by the government. And the boy is still being kept behind the bar. You remember? That is chapter 2 that is being played.
Kojo, what do you think? Chapter 2 or chapter 3?
The first instance when I saw at the beginning of the week or last week when somebody said, it's an eyewitness, my first thought was, how credible is this eyewitness? And saying that I saw the brother killing him. I mean, do you want to divide the family or what? Or do you want to investigate the case or not? And the police went ahead and based on someone who says they are an eyewitness, they went ahead and arrested a brother as a suspect. I find it a bit bizarre that within a couple of days you would have concluded your evidence and already arrested somebody as a suspect based on somebody's unproven evidence who claimed they were an eyewitness and claimed the wife of the deceased was also a witness who now came out to reject that I'm not a witness. I mean, it all smacks of a shoddy investigation, if I put it that way. And as to why a committee was put up, was a committee put up to investigate the death of the person or look into the disturbance within a juror? My view is the second part. The committee probably was set up to look at what led to the disturbances and the police and the soldiers shot at, innocent civilians who were demonstrating. But as to the work of investigating a death of somebody, that should be done by a competent police force, not a 3-member panel that has been set up. That 3-member panel should be looking at the disturbances within the area. They don't have the criminal background to investigate a crime such as this. Somebody murdered somebody. Who conducts investigation into a murder? It is the police. It is not going to be a 3-man. So they have every right to say they don't want to be part of this committee because they could tell that the direction the committee was going. And again, the committee has no legal power to, pull anyone into the committee to answer questions or cooperate. They don't have that legal backing. So I can refuse to turn up and they can't do anything about it. And the committee are not investigators. They are not police investigators. I think it was hurriedly put together, in my view, to look at the disturbances. I mean, because people have been shot, and the police were the people who shot the people, and so the government has to be seen as doing something about it. So the president quickly said we should put out a committee, and it went out and put out a committee of 3 members. Is that 3 members sufficient to look into what has gone on in Nigeria? What are their backgrounds?
That's the question. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It's 1 o'clock. We're bringing the program to a close. But remember, this evening exactly, this afternoon, my apologies, exactly at 3 o'clock, Mr. Frank Davis will be coming your way with the Roots of Africa show. And as I said earlier on, he will be hosting, my apologies, he will be hosting Lady Reverend Dr. Abenate, Executive Director, IDO, Ghana. Okay, so she's going to be on. I know she's prepared and everything for you, but it's going to be on exactly at 3 p.m. Don't miss out on that. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll be having the Nefia Sewarakoto also coming your way with the Afia show. So make a date with her as well. Come Sunday, we'll be bringing you the live church broadcast, and it will be followed at 5 o'clock by the Faith Talk by KB Bossman. So make sure that your dials are still logged on Starr Radio UK. We're going to be bringing you lots of music, preparing for the England match on Sunday. So, gentlemen, before we go, yes, Kojo, your take on the England match on Sunday. What do you think?
2-1 or 2-0.
Hey, you, Mate. 2-1 or 2-0.
I'm going for 2.
Okay, so football is coming home, or football is home.
Football is home.
It's coming home.
Okay.
You are late. It's home. How can football be in Wembley and still be coming home? It's already home.
No, football went away.
But it's now coming home. It's home.
I see them winning.
You see them winning?
I see them winning. Italy were a feared. They are a feared team.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what happened on what they call it Wednesday, for me was good, because at the end of the day, psychologically, English team thought they were better than the Denmarks. And that impacted on their player. It's all about psychology. The game is 40% won with the mental attitude that you went to the game with. They know Italy is a dead. Look at the way they play Germany. They were afraid of Germany,
so they said,
went in in the combating way. That's what is going to happen with Italy, and I see them winning 2 goals.
Oh wow! 2-0. Okay, listeners, have you heard the prophets? Yes, prophets. We didn't
say God said.
No.
We didn't say God said.
By my spirit, by my spirit, they are telling you. Okay, gentlemen, let me say thank you very much for this lovely time.
But actually, you know what? Whether they win or they don't win, whatever happens, they've done a lot. Whatever happens, they've done a lot. I mean, should they even lose? Actually, I mean,
55 years of not getting to the finals of any tournament.
Southgate is now. I am giving him officially. You will now be said Southgate knighted. I've knighted him.
Okay.
They start radio knighting.
We've been knighting people if you don't know.
We take the lead before the queen even and see the light.
Thank you very much, Fran. Kojo.
Yeah. Ciao.
All right then. Bye to you all. Okay then. Yes, like I told you, I'm bringing you a lovely tune. So don't you go away. This is a song. Frank sent to me last night. I listened to it. And I'm like, oh, this is a lovely song that I need to share with our lovely listeners. And so enjoy this song. I don't know the name of the artist, but he's coming. It's a nice one.
It's a nice one.
It's a nice one.
I love it as well.
Yeah. So I rest my case. Just stay tuned and listen.
Hungry man say fix the country. Belleful say fix yourself. Who really needs fixing? Now him. Yeah. Come on. Country hot. Country hot. Plenty no get what to eat. Even picking they feel the heat. we all they pray for change. Well, gala gala. Country hot, hot. Country tough, tough. Everybody feel the heat. Even the king they feel the heat. So we all they pray for change. We say fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
We say fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
Yeah. Tell me who and you and me be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. We say fix the country.
They say fix yourself.
Yeah. They say fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
No. Tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. Water plenty, mumu be thirsty. And we get to go to plenty cocoa, but we still the borrow they go to get a job. It be whom you know. We live like crabs in a barrel. Shayo, rupa beshi and look. Hey, we say fix the country.
They say fix yourself.
Yeah. They say fix the country. No. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I said now you great. We say fix the country.
They say fix yourself.
Yeah. They say fix the country. We say fix yourself. Hey, tell me who, tell me me, tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Your minimum wage be hand to mouth. The government know the pay for months. From the same pay, the king go chop. The fees go come. Yari be ball. And civil servants then magicians. Building mansions after few years. Who cares about the coffers? And each man living for himself. We say fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
Yeah. They say fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
Now, who be the country? You be the country, me be the country. Fix yourself. Well, I agree. Hey, we say fix the country.
They say fix yourself.
Yeah. They say fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
No. Tell me who, tell me me. Now you be the country. Fix yourself. I agree. Charlie. If you be cheap, you support Galan, say fix yourself. Government.
This Friday on the Roots of Africa program on Star Radio at 3 p.m. GMT time and 6 p.m. East Africa time, we are going to host
She's a masterpiece of inspired leadership, an overcomer of circumstances by God's grace.
Lady Reverend Dr. Abanate, Executive Director of AIDO Ghana. She will be talking about the Ghana Convention. And on Raya TV, we will be hosting His Honorable Ramadan Bugale and Agnes Mogwabi, our country ambassador, talking about trade and enterprise in Kenya.
We also need to diversify. We want people to come and invest in manufacturing now, because if you look at what we get out of coffee and tea and agricultural products, it's not equivalent to what other countries are exporting.
At 4:30 GMT time and 7:30 East Africa time. Welcome and enjoy the show.